Here's Mr. Motor. Covered it up. It rained last night, but smells good. Got a little water in it. I can still see quite a bit of dirt and stuff back in there that I'll try to get some more of it out. But at this point I'm going to try to pull off this front dampener pulley and get this ready to replace the bearings and stuff in and start rebuilding this motor. But all in all, it looks really good here on the outside. It's warm today, so I'll paint this with Hemi Orange and we'll see what it looks like. There we go, our first coat of Hemi Orange. Doesn't look much different. It's funny, the sun was shining, it was real nice out here. And by the time I got through squirting this much of it, I started sprinkling again, so I'll just hang it up. I just wanted to see what it looked like. Well, it's going to be a nice color. Let's go ahead and work on the rest of the stuff at this point. I'm not going to try to put the final coat on. This paint's running pretty easily. But it's just a duper color, Chrysler Hemi Orange. Should look pretty nice. We'll see. Taking a screwdriver and digging around in here, and there's a lot of little stuff up on the top that I didn't really get with other scrapers. And you can see it's just paraffin. It's the old oils had paraffin in it, and so it left, lots of deposits. The new oils will dissolve all this stuff. But all I'm doing here is just trying to clean up a little bit as much as I can. And I don't know if you can see in this camera. Like, here's a good hole. The oil will run out. But I don't know if you can see down in there, but there's a little casting mark right there. Makes a little lip and keeps the oil from draining out. Well, this is cast iron. Yeah, you can see them pretty good on this side. Yeah, there's several little lips in here that's gonna hold oil and dirt and stuff. So oil change to oil change, it won't come out. Their machining procedures in 1955 weren't, anywhere up to near modern standards. So all I'm going to do is just take a little chisel, and I'm going to see if I can get a little better picture here for you. I don't know if the focus is any better, but I'm just going to take a chisel and a hammer, and I'm going to break these little pieces out. Just drive them on out, so whenever I do change oil, all this stuff that I'm raking out now will go right on down through into the pan of the motor, and I won't have these little lakes of dirt staying in the motor. Let's see what that does. I took me a punch here and pretty good sized hammer and started trying to whack on them, and they're a lot stronger than they look, so I'm not going to be able to break them out. I'm afraid if I do, I'm gonna wind up breaking my block, so I'm going to take a drill and just drill a hole in there so they'll drain. I didn't have much luck with that. That cast iron's pretty hard, and my little drill won't go through it. This thing here is a little bit too big, so what I started doing was just cleaning up these intake ports. Here's one here. All I'm doing is taking out some of that flashing and stuff. It's not a polished job, I'm just cleaning it up. I'll show you. Yeah, I just cleaned that up a little bit. You can kind of see compared to that one. This one over here, you can see I've done this side already. I'm just grinding it out, just getting it smooth. Here's one I still need to work on. This one's pretty much done. I'm not trying to port and polish it or anything like that. I'm just kind of smoothing up the stuff that is gonna give it a little better airflow. With carburetors, this would be fairly helpful. With superchargers, not gonna make much difference, but since I'm here and I got the grinder going, I just thought I'd open them up and clean them out a little bit. Well, the crank pulley here come off no trouble at all. Uses a 1.25" bolt. It all came out pretty good. Looks like the pulley's loose here. It's not going to be that big a deal to get off. And take it off, then we can get that timing cover off. Get all the little pulleys and stuff off of it. And now we'll just give this a go with Mr. Puller. I'll spray it a little with WD-40, might help some. It looks like it's been kind of Loctited in. We'll just lube it up good and pull that drive hub off of there and see what happens. Yeah, it looks like this whole little grease shield and hub and everything is one piece. It's just coming right off out of the crank. The grease shield and everything there is just all made into one piece. It's kind of a strange way of doing it, but I guess it works. Well, I had a lot of oil and grease on that thing. I just scraped it out pretty good and put it there in the gas to clean it. These two here I've already kind of cleaned. They're just drying out. I'll take a wire brush to them. Something interesting here, it's got some red paint at one point on this dampener pulley. So I think this is probably the way that it goes on. I'll have to do some research. But I'll let this dry out a bit and then I'll wire brush all of this stuff off so it looks good, and then throw it in the deruster. This will get all cleaned up and primered later. But now we can see our camshaft, and one thing I didn't think about was that chain. I don't know how much flex that they're normally supposed to have, but I think that's too much. A regular motor, that would entail replacing the chain, so I'll go ahead and order some more timing gears for it. Meanwhile, I'm going to take this all out and clean it up, pull the lifters, and see what we got as far as replacing this camshaft next. Clean my cover up a little bit and threw it over there to dry. It looks pretty good. I got most of the paraffin and stuff out of it. It'll be alright. I'll clean it up good and get back to pulling this camshaft out. The bottom gear here is fine. The top one I'm just using a little 2-point puller. I don't know how well this is going to work, but it shouldn't be on there very tight. We'll give it a go. Got it all off, cleaned up. Looks like a wire brush takes that paraffin off better than anything. Then I just WD-40'd it and put it back together. I've cleaned up my ignition marks. I don't know if you can see them, but there's a circle right there, and then up here there should be another one. I don't know about this motor. I've never worked on one, but normally they line up straight like this, and that gives you your cam timing. So at this point what I'll do is move this thing around till I've got my crank where it's supposed to be, and then I'll go ahead and see if I can replace this camshaft. Well, I go to pull these lifters off and get these long bolts. They obviously must oil around this bolt. I mean, this is seriously nasty oil. No, we just throw them in here and clean them up. I cleaned those rocker arms pretty good. With gasoline again. I'm obviously going to have to run some gas down inside the heads here. Clean up some of that old nasty oil. First thing I'll do is try to get my lifters out. Hopefully there won't be a ridge on the bottom and I'll be able to get them out, and I'll have a little better chance of getting this thing clean.